Honey, don't walk out, I'm too drunk to follow. You know you won't feel this way tomorrow. Well, I'm a little rough around the edges and inside a little hollow. And I'm faced with something sometimes that are so hard to swallow. Hey, but I was born a rebel down in Beauty on a Tuesday morning. Of 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot's on the pedal. I was born a rebel. I was born a rebel. She picked me up in the morning and she paid on my ticket, said, screamed in the car and left me out in the thicket. Well, I never would have dreamed that her heart was so wicked. I keep coming back, 'cause it's so hard to kick it. Hey, 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 and I was born a rebel down in Dixie on a Sunday morning. Of 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot's on the pedal. I was born a rebel. I was born a rebel. Even before my father's father, well, they called us all rebels. They burn out our crops and they leveled our town. Well, I still feel the eyes of those red-coated devils, and I'm walking around tonight through the concrete and metal. Hey, 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 'cause I was born a rebel up in Beauty on a Tuesday morning. I've 1 foot in the grave, I've 1 foot on the pedal. I was born a rebel. I was born a rebel. Hey, 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 I was born a rebel. I was born a rebel. I was born a rebel.
If there be but 100 of us remain alive, never shall we, under any condition, be brought under anybody's idea of a new fucking world order. It is, in truth, not for honor, nor for glory, nor for riches that we are fighting, but for freedom. For that one thing alone which no honest person would give up save with their life itself. Once we were warrior poets. For now we must stand for peace. But if you can hear my voice, you are the resistance. And trust me, our time is coming. I wish I was a punk rocker with flowers in my hair. In 77 and 69, revolution was in the air. I was born too late to a world that doesn't care. Oh, I wish I was a punk rocker with flowers in my hair. I posted the song on my page. I loved it when it came out, and I love it even more now because the words from Sandy Tom's Wish I Was a Punk Rocker are more and more relevant. Regular watchers will know how much of a history buff I am, and that war history especially. And I've been thinking more and more and more this week about World War One. You see, most people in 1914 across Europe, most people didn't know who the fuck Grand Duke Ferdinand was and didn't give a shit if somebody had shot him. That was never the issue. The issue was that there was revolution in the air, literally. That the working classes, many of whom had been dumped into unemployment by industrialization, were very open to the ideas of a certain Karl Marx, where why should an elite, why should they live on the large whilst the poorest suffered and starved and died? And shouldn't all life be counted the same? It's never the rich who go to the trenches. Donald Trump, well, he begged off Vietnam because of a bone spur twice. Barron, oh, he's too tall to be in the military. Netanyahu's son's not in the IDA. So, at a time when they were quite willing to send tanks into Glasgow to suppress workers' rights, those same elites, blue-blooded aristocrats, call them what you will, made the excuse that somehow some Grand Duke in Sarajevo being killed was a causa belli. It was simpler times. Listen to the Sandy Tom song. So it was easy to make people believe that somehow this was some great threat propaganda was easy with a printing press and a bit of, as it was, flour and water paste. And so they sent the boys to the front lines, to the trenches, to die by the thousands, to destroy a whole generation of males. British, French, Germans. Woodrow Wilson was the United States president at the time, and long before the United States belatedly joined the war, Woodrow Wilson saw, shall we call it, a commercial opportunity. You see, Woodrow Wilson knew the finances of the British and French empires. France was getting bankrupt 7 months into the commencement of World War One. The British Empire wasn't far behind. So Woodrow Wilson did a deal. And it was a deal with all three of the powers fighting at the time. The Ottoman Empire came into it belatedly, as did others. But the deal was that America would supply both financial means and material with very good terms, don't you know, to any power, but they'd had to collect the goods. Now, he knew Germany couldn't because of the British and French blockades, which meant that was the British and French merchant navy that was bringing all those lovely materials from America to the European theatre. What's that got to do with fucking anything, Ian? Well, let's see. Alex's show last night, by the way, gave you, quite frankly, a excellent rundown of current world events. She's damn near putting me out of business. I had to say to her today, Alex, what do you expect me to cover? Watch her show, it was brilliant. In 2009, as a probationary Church of Scotland minister, I agreed to and conducted Scotland's first gay marriage. I did so at a time when the law of the land said that was illegal and the law of the church said it was illegal. Born a fucking rebel, I will never change my way. That's 17 years ago, folks, just for context, just to show the rapidity of change. I don't like this t-shirt. My moves show too much. Vanity, vanity, all is vanity. So, you see, they were, Sven, right up to the day that one of them died. You see, there are two genders, male and female. Some people, and by the way, this has gone on for millennia, for as long as there's been humans, for as long as there's been sex. For the species to grow and survive, most of the species needs to be heterosexual. And that means man, woman, humpty pumpty, Mickey baby. And over time, civilization discovered the best way to do that was to institutionalize it in a thing called marriage. Now, at the same time, for as long as that existed, some women, usually because they'd been brutalized by men, but some women preferred the company of other women. Some men preferred the company of other men. And some greedy bastards, calling themselves bisexual, wanted both. Well, I've known a lot of good lesbians, couples, and I've known a lot of good gay couples. I can even buy, pun intended, bisexuals. What any grown adult does in the privacy of their own home, quite frankly, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else, who gives a fucking shit? And that ought to be the attitude. But then things got hijacked. I was caught in the middle of a Pride March. It used to be called Gay Pride. When it was Gay Pride, I could support. Now it's Pride, I fucking hate you. I've known some lovely, gentle individuals who were gay. And when they met the right person, boy, it worked. It was love. No doubt about that. I've known lesbian couples, and it's the same thing. Bisexuals tend just to be greedy fuckers, let's face it, so hey ho. But mostly they mean no harm. Then they got co-opted and they got hijacked till we got to LGB, lesbian, gay, bisexual, QTP. Well, Q is I want to be a fridge. T is I'm pretending I'm a girl when I'm a boy. But P is, well, if you Google it, it will tell you it's pansexual. Pansexual would have sex with anything. No, it doesn't actually mean pansexual. It means pedosexual. It means pedophiles. It means, you know exactly what it means. And I can't quite, I kind of get why some lesbians, some fucking gays would be fucking bought in by the rest of the shit. But I don't understand why the gays and lesbians that I knew back in the day who were good people would allow their quest for equality, which I could support, into being a way to manipulate society into accepting pedophilia as normal. What's next? Will rape become, oh, I don't know, domophilia or domosexuality, where it's okay to rape someone because that's how you get off because you have to be dominant. Men, sometimes women, but mostly men. Again, since time immemorial, when they have no personality, able to inveigle a woman to their bed, have resorted to brute force. Masters, whether it be in ancient Egypt, ancient Rome, or in 1900s South America, southern USA, I mean, masters have always raped their slaves. Aristocrats routinely raped their mates. So, is that now going to be acceptable? Kind of seems it is. All this is going to come together very soon in your minds. Or I hope so, at least. During the time that queer Starmer was the head of the prosecution service in England, it's been revealed that 13,000 rape gang members and pedophiles received warning letters. Warning, weren't taken to court, weren't sent to prison, weren't fucking held up as pariahs, received warning letters. During Queer Starmer's time as head of the prosecution service, he declined to prosecute Jimmy Savile, Rolf Harris, Thingy Hall, a number of very important politicians, all of which there was a fair amount of evidence on. And so this week, we have an absolute debacle. Stuart Hall, thank you, Roseanne. Debacle of a court case where the defence is not allowed to introduce evidence that would show that Queer Starmer was a client of these guys and that the attacks were personal. No. Couldn't be allowed. And the blessed BBC report that it was El Money, a Ukrainian speaking Russian, who had recruited 3 rent boys on behalf of Vladimir Putin to burn a couple of fucking back doors, symbolic maybe, and a car. And you're meant to fucking swallow that whole cloth. It just shows, doesn't it? And that there's very little doubt that in the Western world, not just here in the UK, in the Western world, the blue bloods, the aristocrats, the elites have been pedophilic predators for generations. And they've done so with the aiding and abetting of high up people in the aristocracy, in corporate world, in civil service, in the criminal justice realms, judges, lawyers, police. And then media. Own the media and cover up everything. Mockingbird on speed. Queer Starmer's reign as UK Prime Minister may well come to a screeching halt in the end tomorrow, late night or early morning, if Andy Burnham indeed becomes the new MP for No One Cares in Manchester. Now, that's not a shoo-in because of reform, which means that little fucking West Streetling gay as fuck Brenda Mandelson, oh, pal of Epstein, has been shooed in to say, one way or t'other, he's launching a leadership bid. Now, if you remember, the inky-fingered clerk from Gringotts Bank, John Healey, our former defence minister, he resigned, saying that Starmer wasn't spending enough on defence and that the Russians were a threat. Well, his predecessor, Tobias Ellwood, is now. Tobias Ellwood's a bit like, oh, who could you compare him to in America? Maybe Keith Kellogg or Mike Flynn, someone like that. So Tobias Ellwood is out saying that pretty much the UK needs to get ready to go to war with Russia. You see, like every other country in the Western world, civil war is brewing and it's deliberate. Well, Moorhouse, you wouldn't, honestly, no, you're kidding. I think Alex spelled out last night. They have been stoking the whole refugee immigrant crisis to the max. But they are very afraid because this thing, which you're seeing me through, is making too many people too aware of what's really going on. And too many people are starting to question. Hence, the internet ban. Hence, the upcoming VPN ban. Oh, all the apps you can't fucking get into. Do you know, I remember when you weren't meant to give out your personal fucking data online, especially nothing as sensitive as a credit card or your fucking passport, because they hack these things, motherfuckers, and steal your identity. But that's what you're going to have to do just to watch this motherfucking show. Oh, yes. Peppers, please. Queer Starmer has fucked you all up the arse. It doesn't matter if he goes tomorrow or whenever. He's done what he was put in to do, to protect the paedophiles, to keep the war with Russia going, to supply the Coke King of Kiev with billions, and to take you back into Europe by the fucking back door, if you know what I'm saying. No. Now, Queer Starmer went to Evian. You ever had an Evian water? It's fucking rank. Maybe fitting. So we had the G7. The G7 is about as irrelevant as, I don't know, the next stop that passes through Kaja Kallas's brain cell. Every single country is on the brink of bankruptcy. They are groaning under national debt. They have GDPs which are minuscule. Their conditions of life are going down for their populations, and they fucking dare to call themselves the Great Seven. The Great Seven economies. No, you're the fucking biggest loser economies on the planet. The GDP of Britain eclipses you majorly. You're irrelevant. And so, given that you're fucking irrelevant, why the fuck was Belensky, the Coke King of Kiev, there? Why was Van der fucking crazy Arma Nazi there? Because it wasn't about when doing what the G7's meant to do, which is talking about how these seven mighty economies can stabilize the world economic position to save us from something as horrendous as a global depression. Yeah, that's not what these factarios were talking about. The European factarios, they were talking about how to keep poking Russia, how to make Russia attack a NATO country, and how do we get the giant Oompa Loompa re-engaged in Europe when he really doesn't give a shit. At least they were in between their cocaine parties. Orgies, really. I don't know about you, but Starmer, Macron, Belensky, and BlackRock Merck in a foursome snorting cocaine off each other's genital parts. Sorry, Yes, I went there, and unfortunately, having imagined it, I can't get it out of my fucking head. Maybe Kaja comes in every now and then, or Vander Crazy, I don't know. But on a more serious note, well, maybe not. Because Belensky almost ruined the whole fucking thing by giving an interview right after he'd obviously taken a nice little line of the Colombian marching powder. Trump first ignored him, but then we got the pictures of him sitting with Trump and the usual statements. And Russia's losing the war, obviously. Russia's economy is about to go kapuki. All we have to do is just keep on fucking fighting, and we'll give Russia demands because we're the mighty Western world, we're the G7. We can't put a fucking paper boat with a pop gun in the water. We can build cheap fucking drones and cheap fucking missiles to piss off the bear, but we can't even stage the taking of a shadow fleet vessel without getting fucking caught. Oh yes, queer Starmer, here's another one of your little fucking adventures, eh? So, the mighty Royal Marines stormed a shadow vessel with no marine support, not private, nothing. Oh, wait a minute, it didn't have anything else either. Why? It was a Cameroonian flagship, in fact, a Greek ship. Greek shippers, to get around the various sanctions in the world, flag their ships constantly in different countries like Cameroon. Now, this Cameroonian ship, Greek by Cameroon, whether it had oil or no oil in it, whether it was Russian or not, whether it was Russian tweaked by India, who cares? It was all prearranged, you see. Thank me later, Galloway, you bastard. What happened was a deal was done with the Cameroonian government, with the Greek owners. The ship was unflagged, uninsured. Oh, and the crew had been evacuated. And then a film crew was flown on so that they could document the whole thing. People started asking questions when they said, how come the cameraman is in front of the first guy boarding a fucking ship? But that's how stupid they think you are. That's how stupid they think they can do things and get away with it, which is why they have to censor the internet. Do you know why Blue Sky is the only site? You've never even heard of Blue Sky, have you? Well, not me neither. But it's the one that was set up by the pedo that used to run Twitter who sold it to Musk, Sveta. So the thing is this: someone's done some research, and it's the biggest site for grooming and pedos. So tell me this, queer Starmer, why is it that you're banning, as Australia did before you, as other countries have before you, you're banning children 16 and under from X, Facebook, TikTok, the shit they like, really, but not from Blue Sky. Hmm. Oh well, maybe it's backdoor stuff again, queer, is it? I swear to God, I fucking dare them. I dare them! Queer, come sue me. There just comes a time when gaslighting goes too far. So, the G losers, 7 turned upside down an L, by the way. The G losers are trying to spread a narrative that Russia has lost, that the Russian economy is in the shitter. Well, here's the actual battleground sit rep. Well, we were talking, literally, a Lehman fell. Kutskovoka, the Ministry of Defence has announced that well, they only do that about a week after a place has actually fallen and they know they've mopped up everything. Kupiansk will fall in days. Konstantinovka, it's gone. Bye bye. Druzhkovaka, bye bye. Within a week or two at most. The last fortress cities in Donetsk are gone. And I've told you what happens after that. Russia has launched its own version of Starlink. And there's ebbs and flows in wars. When this became more and more about drones, you had the drones on the cable, on the thin wire, But you put a cage on or you cover a roadway, it's easy to stop that. Then we've had various electronic warfare methods. Then we had Russia getting on top. So Musk turned off Russia's availability to use Starlink whilst keeping Ukrainians' ability. So we had that seesaw. Here we are now. Russia's launched its own Starlink, and they've also effectively found a way to block Musk's Starlink. And they are fleeing the Ukrainian soldiers. Russia is moving forward, it's doing more than that. Russia is prepared for the next war. They know that's coming in Europe because they know the provocations are going to keep on coming. But they have absolutely raided the store cupboards of NATO. Who knows? Us Scots or Brits might be sent to fight Russia with shovels the way things are going. Finland revoked a law. Finland, who is in breach of the contract, the treaty it made with Russia, that it would remain neutral, which means Finland, Russia could take you anytime it wants. Why do you think? Without conscription, they built up a million-man army in the St. Petersburg direction because fuckwits like BlackRock Mercs is allowing his fuckwit generals in the Luftwaffe to say that Germany is ready for war with Russia and could take Kaliningrad and we'd hit St. Petersburg. Fuck it, we'd hit the fucking Black Sea, motherfucker. The German military is only a half breath away from being as fucked up as the British. Oh, but they are trying to remilitarize, which means that Germany is in breach of the treaties signed after World War II. And Russia could legitimately hit you, motherfucker. Holland. The Dutch military. Just, I think there is, Ben. The Dutch military just announced they were ready to have prisoner of war camps for up to 2,000 Russian POWs. One of my grandfathers spent the majority of the war in the POW camp. The Russians, Holland, they're not too happy with you. So, faced with the fact that they have stirred up an existential threat to themselves if we all said, you know what, it's about time we got rid of the Epstein class, up to and including the fucking royalty, all the pedos everywhere. It's cowl time. They sure as fuck want to send you into the meat grinder. Yes, Sven, brother, here's what happened. That von Donitz and Admiral, I'll remember his name in a second, Dersovich, I think. Correct me because I could be wrong enough. But after the supposed death of Hitler in the bunker, they transferred power first to Bormann, but then to Admiral. I think it was Donitz, wasn't it? Yes, it was Admiral von Donitz, of course, who was at that point in Norway. Sven. That's why Sven, being Norwegian, knows about this shit. And he signed the surrender documents for the German state, for the German Kriegsmarine, for the German Navy, Army, and Air Force. No Nazi, not one, ever signed a surrender document for World War II, just so you know. Finland enacted a law to allow nukes to be transported and stored in Finnish territory. The Ukrats, rats, just attacked the Belarusian bus that was carrying a children's football team. The Albanians tore down the fence the Kushners erected. China's got a micro drone the size of a mosquito, which they are deploying. And Grok, good old Grok. Whenever you go on X, they want you to interact with Grok. Grok picked 2,000 targets, including the girls' school, in the recent war with Iran, and fired those missiles, according to the Pentagon. The Memorandum of Understanding between Iran and the US. Well, a verbal agreement isn't worth the paper it's written on. That's all a memorandum of understanding is normally. Trump was forced into this. I've told you, strategic oil reserves are running on fumes. Trump needs to try and get oil flowing to keep normalization in the Western world. That's and to stave off the worst economic collapse ever. And that's why He is seemingly defying the Zion Nazis and Netanyahu. Netanyahu is going down bigly, but it's all right. The next one, just like here in the UK, will make Netanyahu look like a baby's toy. I forgot to say, the reason Healy, Dinky, Gringotts, Span, Clark fucking resigned, and the reason he's going to throw his hat into the ring, along with Peter Mandelson's bum boy, because queer likes it by the back door. Healy resigned to tie whoever, be it Rayner or Burnham, only two serious contenders, to tie them into their continued support with Ukraine. So the Iranians aren't fucking stupid. America and the giant Oompa Loompa aren't agreement credible. Trump is stuck between a rock and a hard place, the rock being financial collapse and the price of oil soaring to $2.50 a barrel, the price of gas Americanos going to $10 a gallon. My fucking God, at that price, we would be celebrating here in the United Kingdom, but whatever. So, they're playing a game. Trump had to concede because he knows the timing of when the economy collapses. Iran knows America will not stick to the memorandum of understanding. In the meantime, however, if they can get 12 billion of their own seized assets or 300 billion, wouldn't you just love to be one of the Gulf Arab countries? Those little state splits carved out by the British after World War One. The UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia. Because the United States of fucking America well, good luck with that, Roger. Let's hope it keeps on, mate. All this fucking one doesn't understand. It's not the fucking egg you laid today, motherfucker. It's a chicken you've killed. They ain't gonna lay more eggs. Teach a man, give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man how to fish, he'll live. Once the strategic oil supplies are gone, all the huffing and puffing of the big giant fucking Oompa Loompa who's making fucking millions to keep him and his family safe off your back because you're a fucking slave. He's the fucking master. He could fucking shag your fucking 6-year-old daughter in the street and you'd still bow down to him, motherfucker! Well, I think the cheapest cost of diesel I can find around here has come down from nearly £2 a litre to 1.75. Oh, a litre. What a saving I'm making. I could almost buy one whole fucking bag of oats to feed my family of fuck off. Things are going to get worse than you motherfuckers can even imagine. And that's if they're playing straight. You know they're not. That's if Trump says to fucking Netanyahu, get the fuck out of Lebanon or you're getting nothing more from the US, because that's about the only way it's happening. That's if Natalie Bennett doesn't get in because Netanyahu is getting fucked up the ass. That's if Benjamin Netanyahu and Donald Trump aren't fucking in it to win it, a good cop, bad cop. So Iran will take every penny it can get at the moment of its unfrozen assets, of its unsanctioned oil, of its reparations, because if you're a Gulf state, fuck me, you bought into the idea that if you paid the Yankee Doodle Dandy enough money for jets and air defense and let them have bases on your soil, motherfucker, they'd protect you, except they didn't, did they? They protected the Zionist state like they were always going to, like they were supposed to, and they attacked another country. And that other country went boom, boom, boom to your infrastructure, to those military bases on your territory. And now, the empire, the Yankee Doodle Dandy said, you're going to have to cough up 300 billion on reparations for what we did to Iran. Why would any country in the fucking world now be a vassal of the United States? Why are we? Why is Europe? The Iranians know what's going to happen. It's only a matter of time. The Israelis are provoking it already. They're still bombing Lebanon. They're still bombing fucking Gaza. They're not withdrawing from Beirut or from Lebanon. They're not withdrawing from Syria. They're not withdrawing from Gaza. They're still committing atrocities on a daily basis. And Trump saying that the head chopper in Syria might take over from Israel and Lebanon, good luck with that. Why? Because Hezbollah were the boys that stopped the CIA, MI6, Mossad, ISIS in the first place. Even head chopping oh, you see, you can be a pensioner in the United Kingdom holding up a sign saying, I support plasticine action, and get fucking jailed for years. Or you can be a head chopping on video Islamic terrorist who is lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time when the Syrian army was bought out, and you will be given, oh, the fucking Trump at the White House for this guy. Because, oh, Trump has turned the fucking presidency into absolute fucking sham. MME, pay as you go, though, and sponsored by our fucking crypto coins, and you can buy your special medal and whatever else. But they were probably fucking selling hats and scarves and fucking flags. Jesus. Something for young ones, something for old ones, something for everyone's a comedy tonight. The world's in a crash. The wars in Ukraine and with Iran are about to kick up. Trump and Netanyahu will try and play a sham, but Israel will keep on being a genocidal state, killing everyone it can. Iran will get as much money as it can out of this. The Russians and Chinese will witness the fact that Iran stuck to the deal when Israel and the US didn't. Russia's preparing for World War III. It's allied with North Korea. North Korea is allied with China. Oh well, I did say this year would be the year, the first year since World War II, that humanity would see the use of nuclear weapons. I can't leave tonight without oh, something. The UK queer storm lights up the back door. He is going to give Ukraine enriched uranium. Oh, you mean that thing that the Iranians can't have, but we're going to give the Nazis, the coke sniffers in Kiev, and it's to power their electrical grid. If you believe that, I've a bridge across the Murray Firth I'm willing to fucking sell you. Now, a Ukraine government official said that they have all the technology they need to build a nuclear bomb. Trump had to invade Iran to prevent them from getting a nuclear bomb. Why? Because they had enriched uranium. Is there fucking any cunt following me here? Britain's going to give Ukraine enriched uranium. Enriched uranium can be used for a nuclear bomb. The Ukrainians say they have the technology to make a nuclear bomb. The British and the French, who have the nuclear bomb, are helping the Ukrainians. The Ukrainians are firing long-range missiles into Russia using Flamingo, made in Britain, really Britain, Germany, France. Oh my God. If you can't follow those breadcrumbs, the Russians can. The Russians can. Dirty bomb no more. You see, the crap that the Ukrainians produce probably couldn't be enriched enough to make a viable nuclear device. The enriched uranium that the UK has always had access to is already enriched to nuclear capability. Britain and France have nuclear weapons. The problem always was that if Ukraine suddenly popped off a nuke on the front lines or into Mother Russia, the nuke sniffers would be able to identify almost immediately where the enriched materials came from. Capiche? But now that Britain is openly saying they're going to give Ukraine enriched uranium, I don't know. Listen, I'm just a gypsy child. I'm just a loony. In 48 hours, aircraft from Washington, California, Ukraine, Russia, India, Missouri, Brazil, and today an F-18 all just fell out of the sky. I'll talk about that on Sunday when the lone gunman rides again. For now, that's your Wednesday night briefing. If you haven't seen Alex's show, go and look at it. Did more geopolitics than I did tonight. Life is life. So just take care and carry on regardless. Do me a favor now. And whether you do it by the queer Starmer back door, I don't care. But fuck you. And when you get there, fuck you off a wee bit. Ciao. Love you really. Bye for now, folks.
I see a bad moon rising. I know there's trouble on the way. I see the earthquakes and lightning, and I see bad times ahead today. Don't come around tonight, it's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. I hear the hurricane blowing. I know the end is coming soon. I fear those rivers overflowing. I hear the voices breaking ruin. Don't come around tonight, bound to take your life. There's a bad one on the ride. I hope you got yourself together. I hope you're all prepared tonight. Looks like we're in for stormy weather. Wonder what you've been thinking about tonight. Don't come around tonight, bound to be a fight. There's a band on the ride. Don't come around tonight, bound to take your life. There's a band on the ride. There's